it's Ellen. So this video is probably going to be extremely unrelatable to most, as I am quite a strange person, and to be honest, not too many people can actually relate to me. And if you do relate to me, then you are probably a strange person also. But let me tell you a secret, all the best people are. But yes, today I'm going to be talking about 3 unhealthy/toxic habits that I have which affect me on a day-to-day basis during my life. All or most of these I spend 99% of my time trying to stop doing. However, a fucking annoying part of me still seems to do it regardless. These are more of my, I would say, normal kinds of toxic and unhealthy behaviours and habits. And these particular ones I feel semi-comfortable sharing with you guys. Of course, leaving out the insanely touchy stuff, which I don't really find appropriate or helpful for me to be gassing on about for me or for you guys. Number 1 is self-comparison. Now this one is very, very common with people with self-esteem issues and mental illnesses, personality disorders, etc. What I mean by self-comparison is basically comparing your appearance, behaviours, and basically all of your characteristics against another person in a negative way towards yourself. Basically feeling like other people are better than you in all or most way. And I don't mean just feeling like this a little bit, I mean feeling it to the absolute extreme where it affects your day-to-day life, your friendships, your relationships, and basically everything you fucking do. I personally end up doing this all the fucking time, and it is the most unproductive, unhelpful, and most upsetting thing ever. Yet I still can't seem to stop doing, and something that fucks me over and my self-esteem almost constantly. It would definitely fall under a toxic habit and also a disordered behaviour. The reason being that doing this is actually incredibly unhealthy, and not to mention distressing and actually very irrational. The reason that it is irrational is because every person looks different, every person acts different, every single person has a different talent in a different area. Every single person is just different because they are themselves, they are their own person, otherwise we would all be walking clones. Just basically every single person has different characteristics. And just because a certain person may be stronger in, say, an area of learning, like say your friend may be fantastic at maths or something and then you might not be any good at maths, that is nothing for you to personally beat yourself up over. If you're not good at a particular thing, 100% sure you will be good at something else. Everybody has something that they are talented in or they want to do, even if you haven't found it yet. And trust me, if you want to do something hard enough or you work towards something hard enough, then you will reach your goal and be able to do it. So basically beating yourself up because you can't do the same things that other people can do is actually very unproductive and unhelpful for you in pretty much every way. Reason being is that it is actually a disordered behaviour, which people can stop doing, yes of course. However, it's not something that will just happen quickly. You can't just say click your fingers and it will disappear, because like any other issue, it doesn't just disappear by you wanting it to disappear. At the end of the day, it depends upon the person and their reasonings as to why they are behaving or thinking in the way that they do. Honestly, you know yourself better than anyone, and you know whether you could get over something in a certain time frame. And say, if another person thinks you could get over something in a certain time frame, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be able to. You know yourself better than anyone, and that is just a really important thing to remember. Every single person is different, every single mind is different, and every single disordered behaviour or disorder or things like that, they're all different in different people, and they all work in slightly different ways, because we are humans, and humans, we're not the same. And some people find it literally 10 billion times easier to get out of a certain thought pattern or to stop thinking negatively about something. Yet for some of us, it is practically implanted into our brains, and we basically function the way that we function because we don't know anything different or how to function in a different way. Like for example, it's hard to like yourself if you have never actually liked yourself and you don't know what liking yourself feels like. But anyway, I have been talking about this one for quite some time, and yeah, so I'm going to just shut up and get on to the next one. Number 2 is not getting things done. Now this one is probably a lot more relatable than the last one. We all have those things which fucking majorly stress us out, but we have to do, and every time we think about doing them we just want to smash our heads into a brick wall. This is especially relevant to me when it comes to trying to get things done by a certain time or a deadline or something like that. I'm thirsty. But yeah, my brain cannot personally deal with pressure. Some people's brains can deal with pressure really well and still function and cope under stressful situations. However, mine it just decides to turn off and go to Ellen's happy place. Or Ellen's sad place. I don't even know where it goes, but all I know is the fact that it refuses to function in a way that it should do. I usually have to do things like weeks and weeks and weeks in advance, otherwise my brain just completely stresses out and becomes incompetent almost instantly. And then that becomes a big problem because I don't actually manage to get done what I had to get done. Once my stress levels get too high, my brain just kind of fucks off. Or actually, it can handle stress, but it handles the stress by running away from it. Yes, this is a major problem when it comes to filming YouTube videos and getting them up. I want to get them done, I know I need to get them done, and I said I'm going to get them done. And for some reason, my brain just refuses to actually acknowledge the fact that it has to get done and decides to fuck off to another dimension somewhere where it's even more useless than it was before. Rest in peace, my ability to form a coherent sentence. The reason I get around this, and this may be a helpful reason for you as well, is by not putting pressure on myself. A pressured Ellen is like an active volcano, ready to erupt and explode unpleasant emotions everywhere, and a calm, non-pressured Ellen is a dormant volcano, not going to erupt anytime soon. That's just yet. Anyway, since when did I start comparing people and volcanoes? This is completely irrelevant. How did I get here? But anyway, the key for this one is just to try not to put too much pressure on yourself about things that you have to do. You're more likely to be able to do something in a stress-free and healthy manner by just thinking, hey, yeah, maybe I need to get this done, but you know, it doesn't really matter if I don't get it done, because personally for me, when I say that, then I'm more likely to get it done because I don't feel pressured whatsoever and I can just get it done. And a lot of the time I do actually get it done when it's supposed to be done. Either that or just try not to think about what you're going to do and just fucking do it. Don't think, hey, I need to do my homework. Just think, hey, I'm doing my homework. Except for the fact that homework was a pretty shit example because who actually wants to do homework? I also sometimes try to do things straight away as soon as I think of them before my anxiety has a chance to get into my head and then fuck around with things and make things all messy again for when I actually want to get around to doing it. I can be a very impulsive kind of person, which leads me on to the next toxic habit and behaviour. Number 3, acting impulsively and making impulsive decisions. In fact, let me correct that. Impulsive and risky decisions. What I mean by this is doing things in the spur of the moment and having your thoughts turn into actions before you can properly justify them and actually plan out what you are going to do before you are going to do it. This is definitely a big problem for a lot of people, including myself, which is why it's in my toxic habits and behaviours video. A very unproductive and risky one, if that. A lot of the time the impulsive behaviours can be very dangerous towards yourself or to other people around you, especially when you are in a negative mind frame. And even when you are in a positive mind frame and you're behaving impulsively, that's then causing a problem in a different way. Since you can end up impulsively spending a shit ton of money, or say doing something out of instant excitement, or doing something that you may just regret later on. Like for me, one of my normalish compulsions is, say, dyeing my hair. A lot of the time when I change my hair, it's actually in the spur of the moment. Like when I'm in a strangely good mood and I kind of just do it without thinking about the repercussions afterwards. Then the next day, after I've come down from my weird ass happy mood, I'm just sat there like, why the fuck did I do that? I didn't even want to change my hair. Like, literally, why? And then like you can't go back again, and that is just incredibly tedious because you just did something and you didn't really realise or were able to think it through before you did it. Now this last bit is probably going to be extremely unrelatable to most people unless you have issues like myself. However, some people don't actually know that they're doing things when they are doing them, and say they do not remember doing it the next day when they come to look in the mirror and they're like, hey, look, my hair's a different colour. I didn't actually realise that that had happened. This is incredibly frustrating and annoying on a level that I can't even explain. Have you ever heard that phrase? Once you go black, you can't go back. Well, I think it should actually be once you go blue, you can't go back. But yes, this has been going on for a while now, and I'm probably getting extremely tedious because, well, I'm feeling extremely tedious. So I'm going to shut up ranting about literally nothing. And I hope you're all semi-enjoyed this video in the best way that you could. And I also hope that you guys have a fantastic day and that this video helped you in some way or another to maybe know that you're not alone on some of your toxic habits and behaviours. Or you have at least been moderately entertained by me yakking on about my negative behaviour and thought pattern. Now for the other bit, if you want any advice or help on how to deal with your toxic behaviours, then feel free to leave me a comment down below and I will try and respond to as many of you as I can. I think I got it right the first time, I don't know why I repeated myself. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed and I love you all and I thank you very much for subscribing to my shitty channel. Also, please give me video suggestions because, well, I'm forever running out of what to talk about and what to do in front of this camera. And of course, I don't want to bore you guys by going on about things that you guys don't actually want to listen to. So I'm sorry if this video was another one of those. But I hope at least one or two of you actually enjoyed it. Anyway, goodbye! Mwah.